James Blair, White House Deputy Chief of Staff, who is really in charge of a lot of the political strategy and policy strategy across the country. And we're here live at the White House. It's an honor to be here, James. So I don't know what strings you pulled to make this happen, but we're glad to be here. Obviously, yesterday was a really emotional time for a lot of us on the team. I know you were at the ceremony, the presentation of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It was beautiful. It was a who's who of Washington politics, of American politics, leaders, cabinet members, President Trump, obviously. So I just I'm going to start right there with you, James. People don't know this, but I know this, that you and Charlie communicated all the time. All the time. And I was even on calls with you during the campaign. You were so active in the campaign, putting together the macro strategy and then on the state level. But you and Charlie had a really deep relationship, and that's why I was so glad you could join us today, because a lot of people don't know that. So tell us about your relationship with Charlie. What was that like? What was your impression of him? And what did he mean to what happened in November of 2024?
Yeah. He meant everything that happened in 2024. The way Charlie and I became close really was during the 2024 campaign, where we'd had this meeting where we presented to a few sort of key players on the right that ran big organizations, Charlie's being one of them. And this was kind of right at the end of the primary, beginning of the general election.
Like April, right?
Yes, exactly.
I remember.
We kind of came in and we did sort of it was kind of a closed door, kind of secret meeting, and we said, we want to show you our analysis of the 2020 campaign and where things could have been done better and what the outcomes were, and then we want to walk you through what we're doing in the 2024 campaign and basically what our path to victory is, not only on the strategic level but a tactical level. And Charlie had spent a lot of time thinking about exactly that since 2020. And obviously you guys are part of it, that Turning Point has started to make this pivot since 2020, particularly of becoming not only a campus organizing organization and a media organization, but an actual grassroots organizing and activation organization. And between Charlie and Tyler and you guys and everybody that spent a lot of time thinking about this, and the takeaway was they were really excited. I think they thought it was not going to be as good as it was. So we had this total mind meld. They were immediately like, this is amazing, all, full speed ahead. And sort of a partnership with the campaign was born for, there's just an opportunity.
There was a change in the rules, right?
There was a change. So the Federal Election Commission ruled in the late spring, thanks to a case brought by Mark Elias, which is ironic, that third-party organizations, which previously sort of couldn't engage with the campaign at all, a federal campaign, could engage on canvassing, door-to-door activity, sort of traditional get-out-the-vote activity. And that is something that Turning Point had been building for a period of time with its Chase the Vote program and all these sorts of things. And it was, turning into a big player in that space and had been sort of working towards that for the election cycle. So just because of right place at the right time, thank you, Mark Elias. I never sent him my fruit basket. I promised him on Twitter. That we would basically become partners, where the groups that did this grassroots work out in the field in the campaign would become partners under the new confines of the law. And we did that. So then immediately we started, talking all of the time, not only about that, but, just grew into one thing after another. Obviously, I'm just a little bit older than Charlie was, but we're basically from the same generation. We're millennials. He turned 32 yesterday. I'm 36. So very similar. We also have similar personal lives. He's married with a wonderful wife and 2 children. I'm married. I have 3 children. We're both Christians, so it just blossomed into a personal friendship, too. 2024, Charlie and the organization was essential to what we did all over the country, not only rallying the youth, which is what it's really known for, younger voters, but just rallying voters in general and just really getting into the granular weeds of turning out voters and getting people to go to the polls, getting people to return their mail ballots, hence how, the Chase the Vote program was sort of born. So we're worked on that very closely, but Charlie and I developed a personal friendship, and I said, I wrote this online. I didn't know what to say after news of the assassination, but I wrote online. I mean, one of the things The thing that I admired about Charlie the most is he really inspired people around him, I think, to be better, me included. I never heard him use a swear word. I wish that was true of me. My parents are mortified to see me having sworn on TV accidentally recently. Never used a swear word, but he's a great father, great husband, and the biggest thing is that, obviously, his testimony for Jesus. We should all be the way Charlie was and put our faith first. And two, to advocate to our generation for why it's great to get married and have a family. I always joke with my wife, we've been married 11 years now. I don't know what we were doing before we had kids. Everybody should have kids. It's the most fulfilling thing in your life, and I know not everybody can or haven't found the right spouse. I would say ask God for that. But, that sort of transcends politics and everything else, but it also doesn't. The family should be at the center of everything we do. It's the center of our culture, centered around God. And Charlie just understood that in a way. As the president said yesterday, his wise bond is yours. That's so true in so many ways, and that's one of them.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.